told you it was a good one. Brand new to Rylan on Saturday. Tisha, Dancing in the Shadows. Well, that's it. A massive thank you to Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Sally Traffic, Luscious Lottie, Mummy Linda, Ricardo for keeping us on air, Producer Sai, and all you lovely lot at home for getting involved. Next week, I'm going to be joined by the one and only Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen. Sadly not for a karaoke, but that I would like to see. I'll be back next Saturday live at 3 p.m. Lisa's up next, but as ever, this is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Nikki Cardwell. Russia has pulled its troops out of the Ukrainian town of Liman after they were surrounded by Ukraine's armed forces. The town is in the eastern Donetsk region and was a key strategic target after being used by Russia as a major logistics hub. The Chechen leader, who's a strong ally of President Putin, has encouraged Russia to use low-yield nuclear weapons to regain ground. Michael Clark is a professor in the Department of War Studies at King's College London. He thinks that action is a long way off.
Whoever breaks that taboo will be isolated and condemned throughout the world. He's grasping for anything he can find to frighten the West into backing off its support for Kiev when Kiev is doing quite well.
People are being warned that rail strikes could continue into next year. The RMT union says it'll reballot its members unless an agreement is reached in its long-running dispute about jobs, pay and conditions. Today, RMT workers joined the train drivers union ASLEF, as well as Unite and TSSA union, to coordinate the biggest stoppage on the rail network so far this year. These people didn't realise that Euston Station in central London was closed.
I've just rang my husband. He's got to drive 2 hours to pick me up.
It's affecting the daily earners of today.
I would say that I do have sympathy for it. And if this is how they're making an impact and changing people's minds, then so be it.
Greater Manchester Police say they've not found any identifiable human remains so far in their search for the body of 12-year-old Keith Bennett, who was killed by the Moors murderers in the 1960s. A crime writer believes he's found fragments of bone and clothes on Saddleworth Moor, where other victims were buried. Police say they will continue to dig at the site. The chairman of the Young Conservative Network has apologised for posting a tweet describing Birmingham as a dump ahead of the party conference. Daniel Granger deleted the post after being told by Birmingham's mayor to leave his city. The conference tomorrow will be the first for Liz Truss since becoming Prime Minister and follows a week which saw the pound hit a record low against the dollar in the aftermath of the government's mini-budget. Our political correspondent Ione Wells is in Birmingham.
The big theme that I'm picking up from speaking to Conservative members but also Conservative MPs is the need for better communication. Now, speaking to some of her supporters are a bit surprised at the level of surprise there has been to some of her plans. Certainly there is going to be a big challenge for her both to convince the public but also some of those MPs who backed her that they can still have confidence that her plans will lead to growing the economy long term, which is what she and the Chancellor have been saying in the newspapers today, urging people to stick with them and back them on this.
Football and Arsenal remain top of the Premier League after beating Tottenham 3-1 in the North London derby. Spurs were down to 10 men by the end. And the weather: showers in the northwest and across southern parts of England and Wales overnight. Everywhere else will see some clear spells. BBC News, it's 6:03.